here she is, my Bugatti Chiron Pure Sport. If you're new to my channel, welcome. You should know that, firstly, you're on the greatest YouTube channel in the world. Secondly, I like cars. I have 24 cars, I think.
Some crazy number. Something
crazy. I don't even know. And I don't do car reviews, right? All these guys, they get one car, they do car reviews. I don't do that. I have two 765 McLarens. I have an 812 Superfast, 458 Italia, M5 S63, Lamborghini Huracan Evo, Rolls-Royce Wraith, DBS, Vanquish S. I've got so many cars I can't even remember them, and I don't do reviews. Porsches, I got like 3 Porsches. I did one Porsche review on this channel a while ago, complaining about the footrest. But now my baby's turned up, the Bugatti. And I feel like, because I'm in Dubai, I should do the first car review where a Bugatti goes to Jebel Jais, which is the most famous road in Dubai, and I can see what it can really do as a sports car. So let's talk about the Bugatti I bought. I've got a copy of the invoice here. All the extras I put on the car. I'm not going to tell you the price of each extra out of respect for Bugatti. I'll let them keep their price list secret. But we have the Chiron Pure Sport, and I paid for a few extras. Colored brake calipers. That was a paid extra. Painted wheel was a paid extra. I've got the seat belts being colored. Yep. Paid extra. Paid extra for that. I paid extra for the engine cover to be painted. See, it's red to match my theme of copper red and carbon. Paid extra for the external carbon pack, internal carbon pack. I paid extra for the sunroof. That was extra. So all in all, she cost me 3.3 million euro plus VAT, plus delivery. So all in all, we're looking at around 5.1, 5.2 million American dollars. So we cannot crash on Jebel Jais today. But obviously it's 1,500 horsepower, W16 engine, quad turbo. But it's heavy, right? It's a heavy car. 4-wheel drive. So I've been driving it for 2 or 3 days now. I feel semi-comfortable, and I want to see what it could do compared to something like a 765 McLaren, which is a real animal. So, welcome to the Tate Speech Chiron Pure Sport. Right, so when you first get inside of a Bugatti, I can repeat some of the things they told me when I was buying her. They deliberately keep the amount of screens to a minimum. So you'll notice there's no big infotainment system in the middle. It's all very basic. And the idea is that these cars are supposed to be a work of art and they're supposed to exist forever. And the number one thing that looks dated is technology. If you look at an old screen, right, from 10 years ago, they look awful. And in 10 years from now, the current screens will look awful. And they don't want that to happen with these cars, especially as Bugatti is now working with Rimac and they're going electric or hybrid. This is the last full combustion, the biggest full combustion engine you can buy in a road car. This is the last one, the big W16. So these are going to be around forever. These are going to be a piece of history. So they didn't want to ruin that by having an old screen. Before I continue, let me do a little quick flex and notice I put my name in the headrests. That shows my intention to sell is never. I do not intend to sell this car. I intend to keep her. So got a place for the key, but it's keyless. Engine start here. There she is. And I'm going to give you a quick rundown of the internals, how it all works, or what I understand so far. Like I said, I've only had the car for 2 or 3 days. I'm not a complete expert, but it's actually very, very basic. It's quite simple. Here you have climate control, heated seat, fan speed, temperature. Nice and easy. Nothing too crazy. And then here you have an alternative view as well. If you hold this button, you can change it from showing climate control to showing other things. And right now, this will show on the drive, or this shows since I've had the car, the maximum amount of horsepower I've managed to put down on the ground, which is 1,494 at one point when I had my foot down. The max kilometers per hour I've driven, max revs. These are the maxes. So So this is just sitting you there to tempt you to try and beat it. Like, I gotta get a new max all the time. So that's what that's for. You can hold the button, you can switch back to climate control. You can actually, in the settings here, choose which information it shows here. But, I mean, some people care a lot more than me. Whatever. Climate control's fine for me. Gear stick, nice and easy, very simple. Left is neutral, left and down is reverse. And then you got manual, you can go up and down with the gear shift, just like you can with the paddles, which I like to do. I like to drive it like that. On and off for the infotainment system. And that's it. That's all your inside buttons. That's your stereo on and off. Very simple. Here on the steering wheel, you got the paddles, engine start button, your launch control button. We have to launch control, don't we?
Man, we have to launch control.
We have to launch control. This controls the right screen. This controls the left screen. Very much like Ferrari kind of has that, the two screens and the two systems. On the left, you have car, which is some basic settings. Info on the car. Tire pressure, tire temperature, which is obviously very important. Chronograph. Different settings for the light, comfort. I'm not going to get boring. I'm not going to get geeky about it because, you know, there's better car reviewers than me. You can go see Doug if you want every little detail. Radio, media, navigation, phone, and sound. That's it. Really simple. You've got your media. You've got a few settings for the car. Your radio, your navigation, your sound. Really simple. Here on the left, you've got your volume control up and down. You got your rev counter on the left, and you can choose if it shows the revs in a specific number or as a gauge. And that's it. Simple. Last thing to talk about here is the different drive modes. You got with BEB, which is like the Bugatti mode, standard mode. You've got the highway mode, which reduces some drag, which is deliberately for going as fast as you can, basically in a straight line. You got track mode, which is, I don't know if you're feeling crazy. And then you got here on the left, you can take it to the left, you got front lift system. You can go to the left and the front will lift, and you can go to the left and go down again. This button feels very silky and very smooth. Move the button to the left. No, turn it, yeah.
That is very smooth.
It's very smooth.
That's super smooth.
They must have done something with some very expensive ball bearings for that button. So that's cool. Besides that, yeah. Door, windows, bang. It's pretty simple inside. It's not a crazy, complicated car. There isn't much to work out. There's not much to play with the computers. It's pretty simple. Got the lights here, which at night you can see these lights, and you got the signature Chiron strip down the middle. And it is what it is. And then you got a big engine at the back. Rocket ship.
Literally rocket ship.
Literally a rocket ship. So we're gonna go get some fuel. I'm gonna try and buy a holder for my iPhone so I can see where I'm going. I'm gonna put that there. Get 5 Red Bulls so I'm wired. My brain's on. And then we're gonna go and test what a 2.3 ton car with 1,500 horsepower and a quad turbo W16 8-liter engine can do compared to something like my 765, which is half the weight, 4-liter twin turbo V8. So yeah, this is double the weight but double the engine. So it's going to be very interesting to compare the two. So that's today's schedule. Right, so everyone's going to ask me, how does it feel to drive? And it's very difficult for me to answer. Usually I'm good with words, right? And I've driven every single supercar you can name. But it's very strange to explain. When it's an automatic, to keep the car tame, relatively tame, it tears through the gears at ridiculous speeds. So when you put your foot down, it keeps the revs super low because that's so much torque. It stays around 1.5 to 2,000 revs. And as you accelerate, you go from first gear to 6th gear between 0 and 50 miles an hour. It keeps it really, really tame. When you put it in manual, because I drive all my cars in manual, I can upshift up and down like this or with the paddles. It's not, I wouldn't say it's difficult to drive. Obviously it's scary a little bit because you don't want an incident. But as long as you keep the revs super low, it only revs up to 8,000, but it's got crazy torque. But the turbos don't kick in until around 4,000. So if you're driving between 0 and 4,000, it's really not difficult to drive. But once you get to 4,000 and you put your foot down and you hear the turbos turn on, then it's like a plane and it takes off. But it's very hard to describe. If I had to describe it, it's kind of like a McLaren. For any of you car people out here, you know when you hit the turbo and it really kicks. It's like that, but a lot stronger, but without the grip issues because it's 4-wheel drive instead of rear-wheel drive. So it's just straight line like a bullet. It's like a plane taking off. It sounds like a plane taking off. It feels like a plane taking off. It really feels like when I'm on the private jet and the private jet's taking off. That's what it feels like. So it's difficult to explain. It doesn't really feel that heavy, but I've yet to really try it on a corner. So we're gonna see how it can really brake, how it can really corner. We're gonna go out and we're gonna push it to the limits today. But I'd love to give you a more accurate description of how it feels. It just feels the truth. You're sitting on a W16, you're sitting on a big engine. That's how it feels like. I don't know how else to explain it. You put your foot down and it launches. So we're gonna escape these speed cameras because we're here in Dubai and there's a lot of them. And then I'm gonna show you. 7 gears. I haven't said that yet. 7 gears. Thought I'd have more. Don't know why, because my fucking Porsche's at 8.
Yeah.
It says 7 gears. But if you're going full throttle in 7th gear in this car, I mean, do you really need another? I think you're pretty much about to take off.
Yeah.
And then one side, it's got a cap for oil, and it's got an identical cap on the other side for fuel, and I can never remember which one's which. And that's one of the problems. Let me complain, guys. When you have 26 cars, you forget where the fuel caps are. That's the first thing you're going to forget all the time, because you're in the Ferrari, then you're in the Lambo, and you can never remember which side fuel is. So if we look stupid here filming, because I got the wrong side wrong, you're going to have to forgive me. So we're going to find out. Hello, friend. Is that oil or fuel? I don't know. You're asking me, I don't know. This one here is oil. So that one should be fuel, no?
Yeah, fuel.
Oil. This is oil. Put fuel in there. Full. Super full. Thank you.
So at least 5 Red Bulls now.
Wait, it's a W16, so we need 16 Red Bulls, 8 and 8.
We don't need 8 and 8 Red Bulls.
Have you ever done? Do you know how car reviews are done? This is standard operating procedure for car reviews.
Is it?
Yeah.
So that's how they're all done? They all do Red Bulls?
Yeah, Red Bulls.
Based on the engine size of their car.
Correct.
That would make sense. A nice standardized
system.
Yeah, a nice standardized system for car reviews.
After this is done, then I've got another car to collect next week. I've got the GT Street R, 900 horsepower Porsche 911 Turbo S. They've upgraded it, GT Street R from Tech R, 900 bhp. So I've got maybe I should review that one as well.
Maybe we should just become car reviewers.
Maybe I should become car reviewer. I've got more cars than all the car reviewer guys anyway.
You'd be very good.
I've got a little reverse camera, which is nice because you can't see anything else. It's hard to see around because she's so wide.
Yeah.
But I have a reverse camera. Totally worth 3.2 million.
Nice, good reverse camera.
Nice. It is a different level though. Like obviously if you pull up on a Lambo, people are like, oh, nice Lambo. But in Dubai, nobody even cares, right? In Dubai, Lambo is whatever. But this, every hotel I've parked at, they've upgraded me for free. They're like, will you put the car out front? I'm like, yeah, sure. You have security? They're like, yeah, we'll keep people around it, no problem here, we'll give you a suite. So I'm gonna get my millions back in free hotel suites.
Nice.
Nice. Maybe I should do a review of the blue Red Bull.
Blue Red Bull instead?
As opposed to the normal Red Bull. Maybe we should cancel all this driving that everyone's hoping to see.
Just Red Bulls.
Just Red Bull reviews.
So how was it?
Pretty good.
Is it better than the normal Red Bull?
I don't know about better. It's different.
Different? Shit.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to do a separate review video coming up, ladies and gentlemen.
Get down to the bottom of it.
This is gonna be the only Chiron in the world where the owner's smoking cigars, drinking Red Bull, 4 girls in the passenger seat, driving around. Like, this is not gonna be a piece of art. This is a car and it's gonna be used. This is gonna be the most well-enjoyed Chiron on the planet. Playing no games. When I bought it, I get 4 years warranty and 4 years free servicing.
Ah.
It's nice, isn't it?
Good deal.
So I might as well put on as many miles as I can while it's all free. So that's the plan. So we just filled up. It says I'm getting around 12. It's around 12 liter per 100 kilometers now. I'm cruising at 100 kilometers an hour. So it's saying my range is 550 kilometers on a full tank. My trip, which I don't know how to reset. Let me see if I can reset this live on air. See if I know what I'm doing. Trip settings. I don't know. Right. So my trip is at 341 kilometers. We're gonna go. We're gonna hammer the car, and we're gonna see how much gas we have left. Remember 341, and we'll see how many kilometers you're really getting. There's no way I'm getting 500 kilometers out of a tank.
No way.
No way. So we're gonna see what it actually turns out to be. So, but when we're cruising, it's like, no, you can get 500 kilometers, but we're not going to drive 100 kilometers for very long.
What horses are we cruising at right now?
How many horsepower are we using?
Yeah.
That's a good question. Let me see, I can see on here somewhere. What's it here? That's revs. That's PS. Less than 200.
Less than 200 horses, just to chill.
We're just cruising. So I can see. So we're barely using the car. So we're going to see how many. We're going to see how it performs because McLaren's the same. You start to push McLaren, petrol vanishes. So we're going to see a full tank. Hopefully we can make it there and back without dying. We're running out of gas.
Man, lost in the desert, no gas, but you got a Bugatti.
That's true. Stopping Nissans on their way by. Please, please, some fuel. Please, some fuel. Help me.
Help me.
Out of the way, Lexus.
Speed camera, man.
We just went from, bro, the Speedo can't even keep up.
Yeah.
With the speed you're doing. Like it showed like 160, and then by time at next refresh it was 217. And by the next refresh it's 254. Like it's just like tick, tick, it's ridiculous. We're back down to the speed limit now.
I wish people could feel what that was.
Because video doesn't do it justice.
No, it doesn't.
Like, oh,
no, because they don't feel the like G forces. Like my neck's
Yeah, you're like stuck in the seat.
Yeah.
We'll see what we can do on the banks. So we did about 60 kilometers at the speed limit, and we've used not a quarter of a tank, maybe an eighth of a tank or a sixth of a tank. And I'm paranoid about fuel because I hate when I get on a good road and then the fun ends because I haven't got fuel. So I'm going to top her up again. Plus, I've only had 4 Red Bulls, Luke. And I think I need a top up as well.
You don't need 8 Red Bulls.
I do. It's Red Bull time. Can't you see that on my Chiron Jacob & Co. $455,000? I can't remember the name of it. Tourbillon something.
Nowhere on there does it say.
It says Red Bull.
It doesn't say Red Bull.
It does. Let me show you. Let me show you. I don't think it's wound up. I don't keep it wound because, you know. But I think when this happens, the Bugatti engine starts moving.
That doesn't mean Red Bull time.
Doesn't it?
No, it means you press the button.
Okay, well that just happened, and we're about to drink Red Bulls. So there must be some kind of correlation.
No, no, there can't be.
There must be.
We don't need more Red Bulls.
We do. For anyone wondering about how you could go traveling around Europe, Monaco, all those beautiful locations in your Bugatti, this is the luggage space you get.
Ah.
Pretty shallow, yeah. I mean, it can barely fit my Jacob & Co. box for the watch I bought and my pouch. So that, and then we have a book. Don't know what's in it. You know what? Most people who have Bugattis probably know. They've probably looked at every setting. They know everything. And I'm the worst reviewer. I don't know the computer works. I just drive it. Like I'm not a dork. This is something Bugatti. What's this? This is a trickle
nice.
charger.
Nice.
Yeah, nice case for trickle charger. This is. Let's find out what this is live for everyone. As long as it's not too hard to remove, because I can't be bothered. Some kind of tire thing.
Must be.
Yeah, some kind of tire, fix the car thing. But it's in a nice velvet pouch with a nice strap.
It is very nice and velvet.
And then we have our strap. We have our emblem here, Bugatti Automobiles, Molsheim, France. Edition Limité. Don't know how to French.
Yeah.
1 of 60, Mr. Tate.
That is G.
That is.
Is it extra to get it in red?
I don't know. Everything else in red costs extra.
It's
that
true.
Costs extra. I don't know. Every single bit of red on this car costs extra. Right. Back in the game.
Back in the game.
Keep it.
It's also the braking, man. When you slow back down.
Yeah, it's crazy. You can hear the turbos, like
yeah.
You can hear the whistling. Listen.
It's literally like a jet.
It's like a jet. Yeah, it's crazy. 4 quad turbo. I can actually see here my turbo pressure in bar. I can see here my info system. It shows me the amount of pressure in my turbos in bar. But I'm focusing on the road.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyone who's driving this and worried about their turbo pressure is gonna.
Yep.
So we're gonna keep our eyes on the road, but there's a lot of information you don't need because you're going too fast. But I'm gonna see that this is all about the corners. I'm a guy who likes to drive on corners anyway. I don't really like straight line speed. I don't see the point in going 300 miles an hour. I don't find it interesting. That seems like pointless risk for me. I'm all about the mountain roads. I live in Romania. I'm all about the mountain roads of Romania. So that's what I'm most interested in, is what this car can do on the bends. So that's where we're going to see where it's going. So we've topped up again. We're at 400 kilometers. I'm saying this on camera so we can track how much we get out of this tank of fuel when I start hammering it. We're at 400 kilometers on the trip. Full tank of fuel, completely topped up to the absolute top, and we're about to hit the road and we're about to hammer it. So we're going to see what we get out. And this is the beginning. This is it. It's a little bit bumpy for a while, so I'll go a little bit slow. Once we're on the road, once we're on, then it's on.
Once we're on, then it's on.
Then it's on. This video will probably go a lot more viral if I wrecked, but I'm a professional and I don't crash. I've never crashed in my life, and I'm certainly not crashing this car. So a nice, fun little drive. And I remember some bumps, some stones in the road. Last time I did this road, I was in a pit stop, maybe, and I remember there could be some debris. So I don't want to destroy the outer carbon pack that cost me untold sums. So I'm going to chill a little bit until we're on the perfect tarmac.
So this road goes to perfect tarmac?
Yeah, perfect.
Nice.
Once we start going up the mountain, it goes to perfect tarmac.
The viewers at home don't feel that acceleration. They can't appreciate it.
You never can on video. It's always like,
yeah.
That's not fast. So yeah, like, it's four-wheel drive. It's hard to explain how it feels to drive this car. Like a McLaren feels like a fighter jet, right? It's like a jet and it complies instantly. This feels a bit more like an attack helicopter. Like if you were to tell a jet to turn full, it would just go swoof. Whereas a helicopter would be, you'd tell it and there'd be a tiny delay and then it would do a very good job. It's almost kind of like, because of the weight, it needs a fraction of a second to deal with its own weight, and then somehow it pins itself to the ground and complies. It's hard to explain. It's because it's a heavy car. It's a really heavy car. But man, straights just disappear. It's just, when you drive this car, it's all corners. It's just corner, a straight which vanishes, doesn't exist anymore, and then you're on the next corner. As soon as you put your foot down, it's just like, next corner's come up. We're going to see how well it brakes as well. The brakes do feel good so far. It's got really big discs. We're going to see how well it deals with the weight. Because that's where you really feel the weight on a car, the braking. So once we get on the perfect tarmac, we're going to see. Let's see what she's got.
Hard right coming up in 500 meters.
My only real concern now is a goat.
Yeah.
Or a fucking...
animals.
Yeah, a goat or a fucking stone. That's going to rip the front of my
This is the hard right.
Police car?
Can't tell.
Taxi. Back to it. Hard to know.
Hard left here. Because you think that's like, is that it? And then it comes, boom!
When the turbos kick in.
Yeah, they fucking kick in.
Yeah, it's all about the turbos.
Holy shit.
The turbos come. Here we go.
Yeah, the goat.
What did I say?
Yeah. We'll try and get you. Look at him. He doesn't even care.
He doesn't respect the Bugatti at all. He's like, Bugatti, I'm a goat. I don't care.
Goat, bro. What are you doing?
What are you doing? Stay out the...
Oh, look at his giant balls. That's what it is.
Why.
That's slowing him down.
Why he's so great?
His giant set of balls.
0% intimidated.
0%. He knows no one wants to hit him, especially when he sees the Bugatti. He knows the Bugatti super doesn't care to hit him.
Yeah, you don't want to kill me.
Yeah.
It's like a plane.
It literally is. I was gonna say man, it might be the fastest car because it's like it goes to that point where we're kind of used to, but then it went more.
Yeah.
Like that's when it was like, wait.
Yeah. It just goes bang.
Yeah. Jesus.
Bro, it's crazy. Crazy fast. Once you hear that whoosh of the turbos, you have to. I have to hold the steering wheel tighter because I know I'm about to take off. About to launch. No more goats, I hope. Oh, goat.
Yeah, that goat would be gone.
Bro, vaporized.
Oh, Jesus. Jesus.
It's crazy fast. Tire temperature is about 55-degree tires, so our tires are nice and warm.
Nice.
Seat to buy makes that nice and easy. So far, I've had no wheel spin, back hasn't kicked out, nothing. It's all been nice and stable the whole thing.
All right.
See ya. I'm still going to take it easy because I don't know the road that well.
Yeah.
My only worry is hammering it too hard and going so fast in the corner coming up, and you don't. With this car, you don't appreciate how quick you're going. Like you put the foot down and it feels fast. You go, okay, and you look down, you're doing 270 kilometers an hour. You're doing like 170, 180. In a normal car, if you put your foot down, you'd be doing 100, 110.
Because it holds the max acceleration forever.
Yeah, so it really does increase the braking distance massively because you don't realize you're going so much quicker than you would be in, let's say, a Lamborghini. You put your foot down in a Lambo, you've driven a Lambo long enough, you kind of know what speed you get up to. Whereas in this car, yeah, you just don't, you look down and you go, fuck, I'm going that fast. It's crazy. So I'm over braking to make sure I have time. Because every single time I'm coming up to a corner, I'm going quicker than I expect myself to be going.
Jesus.
Bro.
It's insane.
It's crazy.
It's insane.
Crazy fast. So we just went from 100 to 200. I managed to glance down the speedo. That was 100 to 200 kilometers in that 1.52 seconds or whatever it was.
You'll be left on this roundabout.
So we just shot up 100 kilometers per hour in a second. Right. Good thing I had all that Red Bull loop. Brains firing.
Nice and wired.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, this thing's a hair.
Let's just go around the roundabout a few times. See what happens. It's pretty planted.
Yeah, it is pretty planted. I'm surprised. Yeah.
Pretty impressive.
It's here. That's where it starts to even.
Yeah, it starts to. It's like the first 50 miles an hour. It's like a McLaren. It's not that much quicker than a McLaren. But once you're going like 50, 60, and the turbos kick in second or third gear, it's just wrong. Like by the time they all spin up, the turbos spin up, and the engine's firing. It's It's that mid-range power. Off the line, against a McLaren or a Lambo, it'd be around the same. But once you're already moving and you put your foot down, it's like a rocket ship.
Yeah. And what I've noticed when I think it literally not, they can't go much faster than, like, it can't accelerate harder than this. Then it keeps going. And I don't know what the limit would be.
Quicker.
Yeah.
It's like the faster you're going, the more it accelerates.
Yep.
Does that make sense? It's geared because it goes so fast. You get your best acceleration over 100 miles an hour.
Yep.
As opposed to less.
It's insane.
It's crazy.
Like, cause those little corners, you can't give it its full power. Even here, it has so much more left to give, but we just can't do it. There's just not enough road. There's not enough road.
It's just corner. It's
yeah.
Just corner, then corner, then corner.
Yeah.
It comes so quick.
Yeah. I'm not sure these roads will ever allow us to reach max acceleration. Like, Yeah, we'd have to super know the roads.
So far, I'm very impressed by the grip.
Yeah.
I'm actually very impressed. It does feel a little bit heavy when you go into a corner, but somehow it anchors itself to the ground. I don't know, there's that massive wing. You feel the weight, and then you feel the tires go, yeah, it's fine. It's like they stick, and you're fighting against the weight a little bit, but it gives you complete confidence to do it. It must be that massive weight. Because you have so much speed, I'd love to know the downforce it produces. I think the Pure Sport produces double the downforce of the normal Chiron. It's something like that. It's all about the downforce in this car. That's what the wing's for. It creates drag, so you have a lower top speed. I think we can only go 290 miles an hour instead of 350 or something stupid. But in terms of pure grip, they've done an amazing job. That's what this one's for. This is their sporty version. This is 4 corners. That's why I bought this one.
Nice goat warning.
Nice. Goats. Yeehaw.
Beware goats with massive balls.
Brave goats.
They don't care. Yeah, these roads, man, I just don't think they're long enough.
That's got real acceleration.
Yeah. Oh, and I see here on the map, this road's about to get super windy.
Symbol, yeah,
Bentley.
it's fast, like a Bentley. It doesn't feel like a Bentley. This does not feel like a Bentley. This feels like...
No, it's not a Bentley at all.
It feels like someone took... How do I even explain it? I'm trying to think of a car to compare it to. The Bugatti slogan is, if it's comparable, it's not Bugatti, and they nailed it. It doesn't feel like a Lamborghini, it doesn't feel like a McLaren, it doesn't feel like a Porsche, it doesn't feel like a Ferrari. It's capable. It's very capable. It's heavy. Maybe you do have to compare it to a Bentley and they've just stripped it out and just put a rocket on the back. I don't know.
What I can feel, the grip seems crazy. It really does. Like a Lambo grip.
Yeah. The grip is really impressive so far. I've yet to understeer and oversteer. Yeah, just every single straight edge.
Yeah. It just wants you to keep just pressing it because it's right about to start, but then the corner's there.
Yeah. You can hear the turbo just start up.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah, literally. They just wake up and just ready to, okay. But no, it's a corner. See, just there, it wants to start right when you need to end.
Yeah, it's like it's over 100 miles an hour is where most of the power comes in.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like you have to be going so fast to really feel the power of the car.
There's gonna be a super sharp turn up ahead. It is gripping.
It's gripping. Like I don't feel the weight when I brake. If I go from a left to a right quickly, I can kind of feel the weight shift. Besides that, it doesn't really even feel heavy. It just feels, yeah, it's really impressive sports car. I'm almost speechless. I'm trying to think of the way to describe it. It's only when you're really changing from a left to a right can you really feel any kind of weight at all. Even when you're braking, it doesn't feel like a heavy car. It certainly does not feel like a heavy car.
literally sounds like a plane. Like a plane when it's just trying to take, it's literally trying to take off. Yeah. That's what it is. It's like, trying to take off.
Like it's literally
flying. Yeah, it wants the most power at like 100, 120, 150, yeah. Like just like a plane. Yeah. That's when you need to lift off. Yeah. That's why they have runways. This car needs a runway.
100%. Yeah, you point into the corner, and it's hard to explain. It's almost like a slight, tiny little bit delay, and then you feel the real grip come in. It's weird.
Yeah.
It deals with the weight and corrects itself.
Videos will not do these speeds justice at all.
Yeah. It's like boom. And it changes gears like thunder. It's so massive.
It really is an awesome car. You can really feel it, like boom.
Yeah, it's like bang when the gear changes. I'm still getting traction grip warnings. Even in this perfect weather, perfect road, halt tires, still getting warnings on my dashboard about lack of grip. And I try to put my foot down. Traction control still coming on. I've left it in normal mode with full traction control. I haven't even put it in race. So if anyone asking, should I buy one?
Hard do you turn up here?
The answer is yes. Of course, getting hold of one's hard, and I know most of you probably can't afford one, but if you're thinking, oh, is that actually fun to drive? It's a lot of fun.
Man, it's super different because it's literally just a monster.
It's a monster. It's a monster.
I thought the 765 was a monster. It's not. 765, yeah, it's like you say, it's like a fighter jet, and like it's nimble and ready to accelerate. This one's like a monster.
Yeah, it's like you're guiding a monster up a road.
Yeah.
By force.
Pure force.
Yeah, literally. They call it pure sport. It should be pure force.
Yeah.
You're like you're forcing a monster up a road.
It wants to go faster. It wants to kill you. It wants to go at the insane speeds that we just can't give it.
Yeah, it's literally like, is that it?
Yeah, literally. Is that it? And there, when you downshift, it's like it's angry, like, girl, why didn't you let me keep going? Like, there's just not enough road for it.
Oh, we'll stop in a second. Tires some time to relax.
Yeah. I don't know how the tires deal with it.
Bro, it's impressive. All the motor area is super impressive.
Because we're really forcing these tires to really hold some serious weight.
Like,
serious
corners. I feel like I just had a fight.
Yeah.
My arms are tired.
But bro, mine are super tired. I mean, oh, you can smell it. Smells like pure tire, pure rubber. Man, smoking. It's literally smoking. I don't know how these tires do it, because this thing's much, much heavier. I really don't know how these tires put up with it. And the thing wants to go faster. It really does. It just wants to, it wants us dead. You can hear it, it's just trying to cool down.
Slow down a bit now. Too much adrenaline, Luke. Too much adrenaline.
Might be 8 Red Bulls.
Bro, maybe it is 8 Red Bulls. Going fast in a sports car is adrenaline. Going fast in your $5.2 million car,
man,
bro, there's no room for errors.
And this car wants to go. It really wants to kill us.
It wants to go so much quicker.
It does.
I could have pushed it. There's a lot more I could have done. But for it's a safety first kind of car.
Yeah.
I think no matter who has one of these, no matter how rich you are, because it'd be so hard to replace, you're always going to enjoy it well within its limits.
Yep.
Of what it can actually do. But all in all, it is a sports car. It is a sports car. You could definitely take this out and race it. Yeah, it's heavy, but you forgive it because when the turbos kick in, it certainly doesn't feel heavy. So it's just a matter of, if I had to race myself in my 765 against myself in this, it would all be about the track, depending on how many straights we have. The more straights we have, the better for the Bugatti.
Oh man,
it's gonna fucking eat
vanish.
It's gonna vanish. There's enough just pure windy bends, but then all in all, I didn't feel like I had grip or weight problems. When I was transferring from a left to a right quickly, like a chicane, then you feel the weight because it has to do something. Whatever it's doing to deal with the weight. Once you go into the corner, it just starts to grip and it just holds it. Really impressive.
It was really impressive.
I'm impressed. So let's have a nice, safe drive home. 3 more Red Bulls. And then,
wait, why do we need the Red Bulls?
And then, I have to decide if I'm going to launch control for the people at home. Should probably do a launch control. First, we need more Red Bull.
Okay, so Red Bull, then launch control. Now the Red Bull makes sense.
That's the plan. Fuel, it's actually better than a McLaren. Because I was pushing it, I did just over 52 kilometers, and I used about a quarter of a tank. That means if you're really pushing it, you can get 150 to 160 kilometers out of it. That's better than my 765.
That's super impressive.
That's impressive. The 765, you start pushing it, your tank just vanishes in 50K, 60K. So yeah, it didn't use nearly as much fuel as I expected it to. That's actually pretty impressive.
That's super impressive.
Good overall.
Yeah.
Good old VW.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's made by the same people who are making Porsches, so they kept their efficiency there.
So you can go completely across Europe in this thing.
You could.
You'll have no gas problems at all.
Yeah, you can easily do it.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive.
That is very impressive.
Except you have no luggage space.
That is true.
But then you have like if you drive this, you'd have like a peasant.
Yeah. So your luggage
Rover,
beats you.
A Range Rover or some peasant would have to meet you at each hotel and unpack. You know, then you'd live that life. And here's my route. When I get to my room, I want my things unpacked and hung up.
By this time.
Send your 4 members of staff in a Range Rover. The peasants, the peons.
Yeah,
you know,
it's true.
You're royalty in this car.
Yeah, you don't carry your own bags.
Yeah, of course not. Why would you have your own bags in your own car?
Yeah, when you turn up at the hotel, your closet's filled with your stuff.
Exactly. You make them completely unpack and completely repack, fully in closets every day, just because they're your staff and you're rich. We have so much to do. I'm not doing that shit. We're gonna do an awesome European road trip this summer in this car and live as pompously as possible.
The pompous trip.
The pompous trip. Like I want this particular newspaper every morning that I don't read. This type of coffee from this rainforest. Dumb shit. Yes,
a certain type of cream.
Yes, Mr. Tate. Anything you want, Mr. Tate. We just laugh about it and talk about how we'd really rather have McDonald's. Because we're from the street, and like unlike everyone else who has these cars, we made all the money ourselves, and we're 0% pompous dickheads.
0%.
0%. We're gonna do that anyway. It feels very mechanical in regards to like a McLaren or a new Rari or a new Lambo. It feels electronic. It feels like you press something or you hit the gear shift and the computer does something and then the car complies. This still feels very mechanical. It feels like if I pull this to go up or down a gear, a lever moves a lever, which moves a piece of metal, which moves a cog. Like, I don't know if you can even hear this. Like,
yeah, you can really feel it. Yeah.
Everything feels very mechanical. Same with the steering. It doesn't feel like there's any kind of electronic assist. I don't know if there is. It feels very much like I move the wheel and it moves the wheels.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Everything feels mechanical. It feels like it's a machine. Almost like if you were to drive a tractor, I know this is a bad thing to say about a car. It's not a bad way. Please, I'm trying to explain. If you drive a tractor, it feels like a machine you're controlling.
Yeah.
This feels like a machine. It doesn't feel like a Lamborghini or a new McLaren can almost make you feel like you're in a video game and it's all electric.
Yeah.
It's very mechanical.
You're right.
Everything's very mechanical.
It is very, very cool.